Um, okay, we're going to start off here. I think one of the things you're going to have to realize with this comp is that your frontline damage is going to be really bad. So whenever you're playing something like this, you have to be aware when you get pushed out, because eventually they're going to come push you out. You're not going to have anybody to necessarily help you out as much, and you're not going to be able to help out as much either. So you have to be aware of your escape routes, right? So when they push you out, what are your options, right? You can go here, go out here, right? Here, across, right? You just got to always be aware of where you're able to go. Yeah, see, it's just kind of like once you drop down here, it's really hard for you to play. So you should really be considering that this is not necessarily your job to be up here at all times. This is maybe the summer because she has a little bit more vertical mobility. You have a lot of the horizontal, so just be aware of that. Yeah. There's a lot of like downtime here when you're kind of running away. Kind of like be aware of the fact that whenever you're doing this, this is all time that you're spent not shooting somebody. So maybe you could be hiding down here instead, waiting for this flank, watching this flank, right? Instead, you go all the way wide around here. There's not really a huge reason for you to, especially because you have the long range. When you're taking the duel with the tracer, yeah. Good. Just make sure your team knows that you're marking the tracer out. But now it's kind of you're all stacked on the same angle now, and it's going to be very hard for your team to make something happen because all of you are kind of by and large on the same angle. So make sure you're considering doing what or holding tight, right? Holding down here, you can try to deny space from their Ana or whatever, or you can be zoning even the tracer to fight back down here, or out here. You just watch for the rotate, but you gotta be actively doing something a little bit more because you're just wasting a lot of time running around. Mm. When you're up here, just make sure you know what your plan is, right? Is your plan to drop down, take a fight here, or is it to zone and keep out? So just make sure you and John are on the same page with what your plan is. Nice skill. Good focus on the diva here. Just make sure that somebody make sure he keeps an eye out on the Ana back here because you could be zoning them out here a little bit more. Their tracers running their backline, you can maybe be running their backline instead. So just even it up a little bit. All right, kind of same thing, right? You're spending a lot of time just like looking for a position, right? You kind of need to be a little bit more active when you're doing something because Diva, you're kind of not doing much up here, especially when both you and the Sombra are here. So you need to be actively trying to say mark the tracer out earlier before she's able to get up here. Yeah, maybe like honestly, you can drop and take this fight against there because you and the Summer both being on the same angle is quite bad. This is just like a lot of really bad downtime. Like like what's your plan here, man? Like you're running around in circles. Like you got to pick something. You got to take a fight. You go in here, it looks like you're gonna take a fight, and then you run away, right? Or you just got to get out, one or the other. Yeah. Good job staying with your monkey at least. Good. Just make sure you're constantly looking for like more off angles, right? You need to constantly be looking for more effective places for you to be. Like you should probably go up here faster, a little bit sooner than at this point, but it's a good call. Good use of blink as well. like same idea. What's the plan here, right? You guys are just kind of holding high ground. Like I don't really know why you're all holding high ground. It's supposed to take maybe if you know that this tracer's behind is going to take a drop, and you know they're baby Devo, like you can all maybe start looking to fight here, especially because you know that you have your Sombra out here marking the tracer out from behind. You can maybe start looking for something, right? Because you're just standing up here. You're not really doing too much because they can just leave if they really want to. Good call out. All right, clean up the kills here. Yeah, same thing as like downtime. Like I don't really. You probably should have been in there with your monkey rather than taking the off angle there because the off angle wastes too much time there. You have to know when to spend the time investing in an off angle and when to spend time and just go in and fight. When you're out here, right, you just kind of need to find a fight. Is really the big thing you're doing, right? Because a lot of it is that's unlucky. A lot of it is you just need to have an angle and you need to go for the fight, and a lot of it is just you spend time behind, just not doing a lot of stuff. You guys need a. There's no pinch here going on, right? Like there's no fight happening. You have to all fight together. Really just kind of split there. So you need to just kind of commit and try to take something there sooner than later for the flip. Same thing. It's like you. I understand you're walking with your team here a lot, but you need to be kind of poking and prodding for an off angle a little bit more often because there's not really a ton of benefit for you walking out the same place as your Ana and your Brig and your Monkey, right? You guys should be looking for the off angles. You should be looking for a different place to pinch. If you're gonna mark the tracer out, just commit to marking the tracer out. Honestly, like, yeah, you can't really give up height here, man. You gotta stay up height. There's not really a fight going on down here, and especially because you guys aren't able to commit to this and kill it, you kind of need to stay up here and you need to stay helping your monkey out. It's like come on, man. You're spending way too much time going on all the off angles. You got to be in the fight more often. There's no fight happening on point. You should have been on height still. Case for this point. The tracer's angling for off angle here, but since nothing's happening, it's okay. But when there's actively fighting, there needs to be something going on a little bit more. Right. Good job taking height there. What's the pinch? Right. You're kind of all shooting at different things. Like everybody, there needs to be some focus. I understand you're shooting the echo copy, but you need to at least calm that or see what John is shooting, and then you can all shoot it together. Oh, I must get pinched. Okay. My biggest takeaway here is that you really just need to spend more time shooting something, right? You're taking a lot of time just looking for off angles, playing positioning. Like it really just needs to be because you look like you're not really doing that much damage compared to them. And even if it's useless damage, sometimes you need to just be doing something to put burn on them. Okay, I don't really know about that one, to be honest. Yeah, that's a little interesting, I guess. The work. But yeah, it's like you got to be more in the fight than this, right? There's a fight actively happening out here. You got to come out. You got to be fighting right now because you could probably have killed the Echo already. The time that you take for you to get off angle there is just too much. You're not getting any of the value out of the off angles you're taking. Okay, unless the plan is for you to always kite for the Ana, there's no you really should not be kiting the Ana. You should be fighting down here with your tank because realistically, it's not your job to kite for the Ana like ever. There's a brig. There should be a brig at least. So the whole point is that you and your other tank need to kill their team faster than they can kill yours. What's the plan, right? You gotta have a plan. You gotta be in with your tank right now. I don't really know why you're not shooting something at least right now. Okay. So my takeaway for you from this is going to be a couple things. One, right, downtime. You're spending a lot of time just walking around and not shooting anything, especially with the way that DPS passive works. You kind of need to be shooting stuff right now because you just even shooting their tank while the tanks are shooting with each other will cause a lot value because that's just heal reduction. Second is just shooting. Right. You need to just be during fights. You need to just be constantly looking for something to fight and not walking around as much as you are. So we'll just take for example this point, right? When you're on the tracer, what are your routes? Like what are you trying to do? So a lot of it is trying to contest height, right? Okay. So a lot of it is always contesting height. Right? So what is the best way for a tracer to get to height? There's a couple different ways, right? You can control like I'm doing. You can go under here, right? Or you can go all the way under to here. You can go out and wide, right? Or you can try the blink, right? And then blink across. But you gotta have your plan, right? So I want to see what you come out on if there's any sort of plan. Okay. So your designated cart, I guess. I don't. Uh, This is the whole idea of like that downtime, right? You don't have to be so scared all the time. You can trust your healers a little bit more, but you just get killed. These other tracers looking to apply pressure here. That's what you should be doing for them right now on their side, right? You should be looking to apply pressure. This doesn't really apply any pressure. Oh, the tracer 1v1. Okay. If you lose the tracer 1v1, then that's whatever. But you have to make sure that your team is aware of it, right? Because while you're off taking the tracer 1v1, the rest of your team should be applying pressure because now they can apply a 4v4. So you have to say something like, okay, I'm marking their tracer out. And then you can go take fights. The rest of your team can go take fights. Okay, so like my question for you would be what are you benefiting from by holding this area? Realistically nothing, right? Because you're losing the tracer 1v1, so why are you putting yourself in a position where you're going to be able to lose the one, right? Because he's also going to be getting help from supports up here, so it's going to make it really difficult. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it really is, you got to be focusing on your downtime. You got to be applying pressure because when you're spending a lot of time here losing the tracer 1v1, you're not applying pressure. And when you lose the 1v1, if your team isn't able to capitalize off of it, then you're better off just not trying to take the tracer 1v1 because then the rest of your team can capitalize on the fact that their tracer's out in your backline somewhere and they should be taking fights instead. Oh, really can't wake the Ana up there. Can't wake the Diva up there. The same thing you should always be thinking of, like, what does this angle do for you? It's not very much, right? Because if you're constantly losing the tracer 1v1, then take the route. That's not going to send you the tracer, right? But what is your team benefiting from you being on point right now, right? You don't have to take point right now. The rest of you should be clearing height instead. This is like a missed opportunity for you. Second here. Your team is about to be stable or stable enough, right? This is your opportunity to go and apply some pressure. This is a chance for you to go take a 1v1 against somebody that's not the tracer and potentially go make some damage happen. But you sit on point here, right? What do you do sitting on point? Realistically, in this case, like not very much because John's already on point. And also, you guys are so far away from point that you kind of don't need to push it that much, and you need to just have a win fight. What are you backing up so much for? Are you that afraid of the diva? Like you have all of your team there with you. Your diva's also with you, right? You should be looking for these. Briggs on her own. Anna's on her own. You should be trying to shoot them right now, right? You should be up here. You should be up here. You should be up here. You should be doing pressure, right? But instead, you're in the back line. You're not really getting generating. Okay. Right. Same thing, right? What are you doing on point? Is it your job to be on point in this comp? The answer is it's not really, right? Because the rest of your team is either not mobile enough or is mobile enough. You are not supposed to be the one on point in this case. You're just setting up like all right. So well, I'll just say this in the future. If you're on point and you're designated as the point pusher, but you're constantly losing because the tracer coming to mark you out, you need to speak up and be like, "Hey, I don't think I should be the one on point, right?" Instead, you should be looking to constantly pressure, right? Like here, you're not really doing any very much, right? You know the tracer's here. You're gonna take the fight, and you are gonna win this one. That's good. But the 1x, right? This doesn't do anything. This angle, so you need to be constantly pushing, constantly pressuring, right? So you should be going in here, looking for something, right? But instead, you're here. You just take damage and you die. Right, like the two of you, the Sombra, and you guys both should not have been on this, and especially because you know that you're losing this tracer. Like the market, you should be telling your team like, hey, I can't I can't take this fight, right? Like we got to be doing something else, right? You should be in with your diva. Your diva's getting value, but it's very hard for you to get value when you're dying very frequently because you're taking 1v1s that you just start losing, whether it be resources, mechanics, whatever. Like, what does this high ground give you value wise in this fight? Just I want you to, especially when you instantly drop down, right? The real answer is that it doesn't really give you very much value. So instead, you should be looking for something here, right? Where are they going to come out of? Does this help you? Does this flank help you? Like, not really, right? You got to always be considerate of where you're positioning, where your height is. Okay. So my takeaways for you on the map are one, downtime, two, generating value from taking your 1v1s, and three, just shooting stuff. Okay.